forever. The green grass blows in the wind, dancing. It would be a much better sight with you, with me. If you hadn't been me, I'd be fine on my own, baby. Never felt so lonely than you came along. So now what should I do? I'm strung out, addicted to you. My body aches now that you're gone. My supply fell through.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Apple Daddy's Toy Box. Today, we have something very special for you. That was very anticlimactic. Today we are going to be reviewing something that I've been trying to get out for quite some time. I shot a couple versions of the video and I didn't like it, so right now I'm doing it right. We are doing Figma SP005, otherwise known as Pyramid Head, or Red Pyramid Thing, however they like to pronounce it. Whatever. But it's Pyramid Head. And I am really, really excited to finally get this review out. It's been quite a while. I know that things have been kind of crazy within the past few weeks. I apologize for not being consistent with posting these videos, but I promise you that's going to change. So let's go ahead and... Wait a minute. There's no figure in there. Oh no! Cool your jets, man. I already opened them. So he's right here. Looking spiffy as ever. Take a look. I'm just messing with you. You know I'm just messing with you. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I am ready to get this on. So let's go ahead and take a look. See. So let me start by prefacing this. I am an avid Silent Hill fan. For those of you who don't know me, I've played through all the games, well, all the original games. The ones up to, I'd say 3. The first 3 are probably the best in the series. 4 was pretty good. After that, the series just tanked. Just after a while, they just became more and more disappointing. And of course, there was the disappointing news of the cancellation of PT. So that broke my heart. But you know what? This is making up for it somewhat. But yeah, I'm really excited I got this. I've been craving to get this out to you guys, but here we are. The Figma SP055. So let's go ahead and take a look here and take a look at the box here. So let's take a look at the box. There's the side profile there. You can see another mugshot of Pyramid Head there. Looking really nice. Got some more signage at the bottom here. The Figma logo, Silent Hill. Same at the top. It looks pretty much identical. As you can see, this is done by Freeing Figma, not actually another. I think they're another publisher of Max Factory. You can see on the back here we've got all the different poses. There's different mumbo jumbo at the bottom, you can see there. But a lot of different poses there, looking really nice. Again, it has a nice matte finish. And then there's the front portion of it here. You can see all the different logos on there. Pretty standard Figma stuff. So right now I kind of want to discuss, just to have a little bit of discussion of why I love Silent Hill and why I love Pyramid Head, and where I think the series kind of went wrong. The thing I think is so brilliant about Pyramid Head is that he's an abstract concept of basically in this first Silent Hill, or second Silent Hill, I should say. The main character, James, is struggling. He's in this town. He's looking for his wife, who's actually been dead for a few years, and he ends up getting a letter from her, and that's the reason why he goes to Silent Hill. And the significance of Pyramid Head is basically, spoiler alert if you haven't played it, the reality that you come to at the end of beating Silent Hill 2 is that he actually killed his wife. And I believe it was because she was sick, and I may have been because he didn't want to see her suffer. But he ended up killing her, and that's what the big reveal is at the end. And Pyramid Head is basically a representation of his guilt for killing his wife. Also, he's kind of like a manifestation of his sexual frustration. Throughout the story, there's a lot of and this is just kind of across Silent Hill altogether, there's a lot of terms of dealing with sex and death. There's a lot of suggested themes of that throughout it. Sometimes you'll see, like, there's a scene in particular where you walk into a room and you see Pyramid Head doing what almost looks like a sexual act on a few of the other monsters. It's not explicit, it's just suggested in the movements. There's no graphic showing of anything like inappropriate, but it's suggested, and that's what I really love about Silent Hill. A lot of misconception about the monsters is that they're just random, and they're not at all. All the monsters in Silent Hill, they have some meaning. They're derived from someone's nightmare, subconscious, and manifested real within this town that has basically this mystic, it's almost like a psychic barrier that kind of manifests these monsters into real form. So that's kind of what I love about Silent Hill. But without further ado, that's my whole schmeal there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the unboxing of this guy. Alright, so here we are. Let's dig in and enjoy this spectacle. So, like I said, we'll turn around like I normally do and open it from the top. As you can see there, you can see it, there is some tape there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my X-Acto knife out. Get some X-Acto action. Alright. So I carefully pop this open and take a look at this visage. This is great. That is cool. That is really, really cool. Alright, so let's dig open. So, as I showed you before, there he is in the plastic. So let's open it up and see what we got. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with Figmas, for those of you who already kind of get an idea of what you're expecting. Not too much variation here. Standard Figma fare. You got instructions, again written in Japanese. There's different parts. Open it up. Just instructions for assembly, like he has a alternative neck attachment, all of his accessories, his hands and whatnot. Really boring stuff. Same old, but useful. So let's go ahead and release the plastic, and let's take a look at the magnum opus himself, the figure. Alright, so here is the figure. Again, getting a better look. So off the bat, I gotta say that they really nailed the detail. I just love all the cracks and the crinkles and stuff. As far as like how he's depicted in the actual game, he isn't quite as slimy as he looks like in the game. But I mean, I don't really mind them going this route. A little bit, taking a little bit of liberties with the design, but for the most part, I mean, that's pretty much hitting the nail on the head with Pyramid Head. One thing I really like that they did, and that I'm glad that they didn't do this, is that they went with the actual Silent Hill 2 Pyramid Head, like design for his Pyramid Head, as opposed to going with the movie version, because there is a difference in the movie version. And I actually remember hearing about this in like a documentary not a documentary, but like the behind the scenes. They couldn't get this design to work right and have it fit comfortable on the actor's head. So what they did, and you can see it when you look at the design, go look at the design for the movie and compare it with this one. It comes to a point, which is, fine, for a movie. It gets the job done, but because I associate that with the movie and I'm not a big fan of it I liked it when it first came out, but, I'm not a big fan of it now. I'm really glad that they went with the authentic game version, like the original design. I'm really glad that they went with that, because I would much rather have this on my shelf than, something representing a movie that was kind of disappointing. So I'm glad that they went with the actual game. Again, he's got pretty wide range of movement in his head. Obviously, you're not gonna turn it left and right because this thing gets in the way of his shoulders there. So, not a whole lot of no action. Well, you still get some good no action, but some yes action. Oh yeah, that's definitely roundhouse. It's on a swivel joint, so really good there, or a ball joint rather, not a swivel joint. So crunch action, pretty decent. That's pretty good. Pretty good crunch action there. See, there's his arm extended out, all the way around. Has some pop and lock motion. So if you want to do stop motion of Pyramid Head doing a dance, you can do that. So there's the elbow. So really solid there. Whoop. Hand popped off. Not too bad though. Usually popped back on. And I feel like obviously compared to other Figmas, I think it's about the same material. It's a little bit different. I think they use the same material. I just think they might have a different type of paint that they use to get that rust look, and that kind of make it a little bit slimier, even though it's not too slimy, but slimy enough, I guess. I mean, got more. Well, I wouldn't say slimy. It's more of like a. I don't know, man. I'm tired. I'm rambling, but yeah, I really like the articulation here. good articulation in the legs. There's this weird for his right here. You can't. There's like a weird block there, so not a whole lot of like closed leg action, which is, in my opinion, not a really big deal. I mean, Pyramid Head's not known for that kind of for those kind of poses, so you're definitely gonna get Pyramid Head-esque poses out of this guy. They really did a good job of nailing that. But again, here's the ankle movement there. That's on another ball joint. So move it from side to side, up and down, left and right. So solid there. And then of course they got toe movement there. So that's on both legs. So kudos there. Movement way out there. So not a whole lot of movement like leg wise. You can kind of like push his leg out like that, but not a whole lot. Like there's a kind of a slit right here where you can kind of give him a little bit more mobility, but for the most part it's pretty stationary as far as legs go. I mean, it's not going to be much leg movement there because of that apron there. So, but yeah, solid stuff. Arm, hand. That's all the hand there. You can move that again. Keeps popping off on me. And that's really not a loose hand. So don't think that because I'm popping it off that it's loose. It's not loose at all. It's just softer. So it's a little bit easier to pop off. But it's not something where it's just going to start falling off, so don't worry about that. Everything is feeling really solid. That's one thing I will say, is that nothing feels like too loose or like too fragile. Everything feels fine, you know? I mean, granted, with any figure, you want to have some level of caution, but yeah, as far as, build, I can't complain there. I mean, like I said, little bit of limited mobility, but again, not really a big deal because that's part of his design. So not a really big deal for me there. So really good on the articulation. So as far as like going back to the design, yeah, I mean, it's not much more I can say. I mean, they nailed the paint job. I love the flesh tones that they used. The earthy umbers and the deep reds of the umbers and the just those dark tones, those dark warm tones really capture the feeling of rust. So really solid job there. And all the little divots and crevices, and has that very Silent Hill texture to it. So they really nailed it. And it's interesting to see Figma keep moving the camera there. Sorry about that. It's really interesting to see Figma do something like this, just because I'm so used to seeing like stuff like Magic Emotica and like Attack on Titan, Black Rock Shooter, the ones that I have at least, and like having a lot of animes, so like they're always like very clean and cartoony looking, and like then you see this and it's a complete 180 from that, but they still nailed it. So that's one prop I'll give to Figma, is that not only are they great toy makers, they're versatile. They can do different styles. So this is proof of that. So that's awesome. But yeah, I really like this figure. Of course I love it. It's Pyramid Head. Another detail, if you take off his head, I can get this out without causing too much of a ruckus. There we go. Okay. Not too much. You can see the details underneath. Very grotesque. they use like a very glossy paint as opposed to like the more matte finish that's on the body to make it feel very much like an organ. So, and I love that because that really does show what the character is. People think that, you know, for people who don't know Pyramid Head, um, this is showing you that this is not a helmet. This is not a helmet. This is his actual head. That's what makes this so creepy. Is because it's not, like I said, it's not a helmet. That's his that's his supposed organic head. So that's really really disturbing, but in a good way. It's for this figure. So, but this just makes this I just really like this because this makes me want to see them do more Silent Hill characters. Like I want to see them do like some of the main characters. Like I know that they have the Bubble Nurse, which I will definitely be picking that one up as well. And I'll be doing that a review. That'll be part 2 of my Silent Hill special. But I really want to see. I would really like to see like them do Heather from Silent Hill 3. I'd love them to see them do James. I'd like to see them do some of the other creatures as well. So, this just makes me want them to do more. Like, just do more. Just make a bunch of them. Like, because you guys nailed it with this. So, as far as the figure is concerned, I am really not disappointed at all. Like, which is really nice because you know every once in a while you'll get a Figma, and as great as Figmas are, you know they're not perfect. Like my kind of going back to my Terraformers that had an issue with the waist, but there's no issues like that with this. You know, everything is sturdy, everything's in place. It's great. So, yeah, very good stuff. So, without further ado, that's the figure itself. So let's go ahead and move on to the accessories. So here we are with the accessories. So, pretty much standard fare as far as accessories go, at least for this guy. But, you know, not a whole lot. But, you know, like, there's enough. You know, it's got freaking... I mean, he has, like, 4 pairs of hands. Actually, 5 compared, you know, to the ones that he has on him. So let's take a look at those. So, with these, he's got his hollowed out hands for grasping. You have an alternative grip there, so kind of like it's like he's holding it out that way, but another grip basically for his spear or his sword, whichever one you have him hold. You have open palmed there, and then another variation of the open palm. So, yeah, as you can tell, I mean, the detailing on these are really nice. I mean, it looks like there's covered in cloth, which is really weird because, like, and this is just the design. His middle 3 fingers are almost covered in like a glove-like thing. It's like they're made out. It's like a glove made out of flesh. It looks like, but like his pinky and his thumb are free. So something really interesting I found out about or I noticed about the design of his hands, which is a lot like how they look in the game. So that's really cool, very game accurate. Paint job is really nice. Has that fleshy, like dead flesh tone, that grayed out. So it's like rotting flesh. So that's pretty cool. Over here we have another accessory here. So actually, before I go into that, let's go ahead and look at the spear. So, again, really nice. Here's the handle. You can look closely at it here and get some focus there. You can see that there's really nice rust detailing on the staff of the spear there. It's done like somewhat somewhat glossy, somewhat matte, somewhat glossy, kind of like a mixture kind of type of paint job. You know, a little bit. You can see it's glistening a little bit, so it is somewhat of a gloss paint job there, which is really nice. Makes it look makes it look more rusted. And then here's the spearhead, so you can see you connect it through there. Not very complicated there. You just pop that on and boom, got a spear. And then it makes it easier for you to take it on and off. So give a focus. There we go. So you can see the detail. A little bit of warping. I think you just gotta get it on right. There, that's better. So nice detailing in the spearhead as well. Really good paint job. Looks like a spearhead. So what can I say about that? So going on to this other accessory here, it's really cool. This is and this, you're looking at this thing, it's like, what is this for? Well, I'll tell you. This is an alternative neck piece. So it's really cool because it has this little notch there, like he's been chain smoking. And what you do is you can take the spearhead off, take his head off. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. And I'll just show you some photos because it's not that complicated. Just take the head off and then replace the joints. But ultimately, you can stick the spear in there so it looks like he's impaling his throat with the spear. So there, so pretty cool there. So you'll see it in, when I lay it out there for you, but it's really cool there. It looks really cool when you have it pieced together. It's like stick his neck. And then last but not least, we have his mighty butcher's knife, the most iconic weapon that Pyramid Head has. And again, really nice detailing. I really like how they have the sharpness of the blade, different color, from a different tone from the rest of the blade, because it makes it look a lot sharper. It looks really nice. Looks really sharp. Looks like you can just cut yourself on it. So really good job with that. Nice steel, kind of like rusted steel texture there. Looks like it was made in a really crappy blacksmith. So really cool. Really nice detailing on the handle. Kind of uniform look, but again, really nice. It's very light. I mean, what can I say? It really does capture the essence of his weapons there. So again, really cool stuff. Oh, and I forgot that the hands come with an extra wrist joint. So if you lose your wrist joint for some reason when you're switching hands, they gave you an extra. So I thought that was really cool. But going on, I think that's pretty much does it for the accessories there. We saw his stand earlier, so let's go ahead and see him in some intimidating poses. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Figma Silent Hill Pyramid Head review. I really hope you guys enjoyed this Figma. This is one of my favorite Figmas, man. This is just speaking right to me. It's like they reached into my mind and they knew exactly what I wanted. Figma's awesome. Silent Hill, even more awesome. Let's just make them, smash them together. And that's what they did, and it turned out really well. So I'm really happy with this Figma. Definitely be sure to take a look at the scores here, scrolling beside me. And of course, never forget to check us out at the Stuff Podcast. We post every Monday on iTunes and SoundCloud. You can listen to us for free. We record at the Heroes and Games at the Greater Columbus Convention Center. So definitely check out Heroes and Games if you're ever down there. They have all the cool stuff that you want. And like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. This is your boy, the Apple Daddy, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.